Hey guys, in this video I'll be comparing Jay Cutler's arguably best version, 2009, and his last and probably worst Olympia version, 2013. I've always been intrigued by legendary bodybuilders making comebacks to the stage, and both of these showings represent that. In 2009, Jay came back and reclaimed the title in a dominant fashion, while in 2013 he came back after 2 years away from the stage and obviously did not win. It'll be interesting to see how much of a difference there will be between the 2 years, as Jay is one of my favorite bodybuilders of all time. Now, before the video does start, if you guys enjoy my content, a like and sub would really mean a lot. With that being said though, let's get into this video. The front double bicep shot has always been a very powerful pose for Jay, as his wide clavicles, flaring lats, and great quads all create an impressive pose. In 2013, his arms were probably the most downsized out of any muscle group, as you can see that his biceps clearly lack in size compared to 2009. It's not like 2009 is perfect either, as his biceps are asymmetrical in size and shape. However, there is a clear difference between the 2 years. Apart from that, Jay managed to keep his lats, quads, and midsection relatively the same, with only minor differences between the two. This second look at the front double shows you just how ripped and conditioned Jay's quads were in 2009. They look perfectly striated, whereas 2013's look a little bit less cut. That being said, he is flexing them differently in each, which could be the reason for the differences in the detail. The front lat spread really shows you the arm size disparity between the two versions. Jay's arms look twice as thick in 2009, whereas 2013 lacks in the bicep specifically. They look misshapen and worn out, which detracts from the overall pose. That being said, he did a great job of retaining those lats from the front, maintaining his thick chest, and still had a relatively good outline. His quads do look downsized on the outer heads, especially his right quad or our left, and his physique looks much more drained and lacks pop. Still, I think he managed to present a rather comparable front lat spread in 2013. The side chest might be the first pose that shows a dramatic difference between the 2 years, as there are so many things that fall apart for 2013. You can see that Jay's side leg isn't nearly as detailed and dry as 2009, and that his chest isn't as striated. That being said, he did bring the size in both of those areas, but again, he lacked in size in the biceps. They look deflated and make his arms look less impressive, not to mention his near forearm looks so much smaller, quite possibly though due to a difference in posing. While the overall shape is still there, the lagging biceps and conditioning hint to why Jay placed out of the top 5 in 2013. Here's the rear double, and funnily enough, it seems like Jay's back in 2013 is more symmetrical than in 2009. That's because the atrophy in the lower back is the same for the left and right sides, whereas in 2009, you can see that his right lat reaches down ever so slightly more. Looking at the backs though, it seems as if Jay managed to keep the width and density of the back, along with those superb striations in the traps. Delts and triceps look about the same, maybe lacking a bit of sweep for the latter, and his biceps don't necessarily look all that different either. The hamstrings and glutes are almost even as well, which leaves me extremely impressed at Jay's 2013 conditioning. Still, the worsened atrophy of the lats, coupled with the asymmetrical little bits and pieces of his body that are riddled throughout his physique, really show you why Jay's 2013 version is still not as good as 2009. The Christmas tree pose shows you that there might actually not be much of a difference in the lower back atrophy at all. Jay's 2013 version looks about the same in the upper body mass-wise, but gets beaten by 2009 in the lower body conditioning, and maybe slightly in the upper body as well. The rear lat spread is interesting, as Jay's 2013 lats looked just as wide as 2009 in every other shot apart from this one. In 2009, his lats look like they insert much lower and appear a lot fuller. Moreover, those hamstrings and glutes coupled with that amazing lighting look so much better and pop a whole lot more for 2009. This might just be Jay's worst pose for 2013, as he really does look like a shell of his former glory. I've always thought that the side tricep was an excellent pose for Jay, one of his best even, and here is no exception. Jay's bicep issues in 2013 are barely noticeable when he presses his arm against his lat, and you can see the overall shape and flow is spot on. Amazing tricep, delt, chest, and midsection, and a relatively decent side leg as well. That being said, Jay's 2009 version has more overall thickness on the arm, especially in the bicep, and looks a whole lot more polished thanks to that godly lighting. Apart from the arm though, I think that Jay almost presented a prime side tricep in 2013. This pose isn't a mandatory one, but really needs no introduction. The legendary quad stomp highlighted Jay's amazing quads and the amazing striations presented on them, which are on full display in both years. Although Jay's quads do look really good in both, it is clear that 2013's outer quad sweep is less pronounced and that they are a little bit less large. That is the really only real knock that I can see though for 2013, as he looks comparable to 2009 everywhere else, apart from maybe the midsection and biceps. The ab and thigh pose is a controversial one for Jay, since some love it and others really hate it. Personally, I've always been a fan of this pose for Jay, since although his abs are a bit messy, they are perfectly cut and separated, and his quads really pop, especially for 2009. Neither has a tremendous V-taper, which is a common knock on Jay's ab and thigh, as many think he looks like a fridge or a brick. While that may kind of be true, he's going up against himself here, so it really doesn't matter. All the flaws that I've previously mentioned for 2013 are still present. Downsized quads, slightly worse midsection, and a sort of worn-out look to the physique, but nonetheless, he still does look pretty good for 2013, but obviously, come on, 2009 looks far better. Here's the last pose, the most muscular, and unfortunately, they are not doing the same variation. That being said, I think 2013 wouldn't look as good in the crab due to his lacking bicep size, whereas 2009 looks tremendous. It is clear as day that 2013 isn't as massive or polished, but he still looks respectable nonetheless. You can notice that his biceps are still a problem here, and his chest, delts, and arms don't look nearly as ripped or conditioned as 2009. Both have tight and chiseled midsections though, along with monstrous quads. Alright guys, that about does it for this video. In short, between 2009 and 2013, Jay definitely regressed in size and developed some flaws, but still presented a rather decent physique. Sure, he wasn't as big or as polished, however, he still resembled a top-tier bodybuilder, just not a top-tier Jay Cutler. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Let me know down below if you'd like to see another prime versus worst comparison video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.